Hey everybody, Jim here from the Soul of the Unexplained, and ready to kick off my day 3 recap of PhenomeCon here on the 8th of September, I think, 2023. Wow, where to begin? Today was just simply extraordinary, and I know that's a rather superlative, but and I know I sound like a broken record, but every subsequent day is topping the day prior. And such was the case today on Friday, the third day of PhenomeCon. So, start from the beginning. My day began, as I posted my earlier video, with sunrise meditation with Melissa Winterton. And I cannot begin to tell you how much good it did for me to learn some of the techniques to help bring my mind and my body more into balance and more into sync, and to find some much needed hope and peace and just that balance. And it was exactly one of the things that I needed the most, I think, out of this PhenomeCon experience. Sorry for the shaky camera there. But just, I cannot say enough good things about it. Melissa Winterton has such a gift, and I'm so immensely humbled, I guess is the best way to put it, that she was able to share her gift with me and with everybody that was present. There was just truly something special about that sunrise meditation this morning, and it gave me the strength that I needed in more ways than one to face the day that was ahead of me. And it was truly heaven sent, if there's a better way I can put it. But just extraordinary, truly extraordinary, the sunrise meditation with Melissa Winterton. From there, we had the opening speaker at PhenomeCon today was Aaron Sager, or Sagers. Forgive me, Aaron. But among other things, he's the host of Paranormal Caught on Camera and the Netflix series 28 Days or something like that. Just really shared his insight on what really paranormal means and where the whole thing has come from, where it's headed, and really found his presentation to be extremely insightful, and just a really well put together presentation. I could have sat and listened to him for for another hour, I'm sure, but great presentation. From there, I attended a special VIP media event, thanks to the amazing folks at PhenomeCon, that gave Roger and I this wonderful opportunity to have lunch with the team members of Skinwalker Ranch. Last year, Roger and I were invited as well to attend a breakfast that was only open to members of the media with the Skinwalker Ranch team, and that was such a privilege to be able to do that. So I, myself, and also Jeff Freeman, and just a handful of other people, we were able to have a truly just a really nice laid back lunch with all the guys from the Skinwalker Ranch team, Caleb and Dragon, and also Dr. Travis Taylor, Eric Bard, and we covered a wide ranging topics from Sasquatch to Jeff Freeman asked just a tremendous question. What can people like Jeff and I and Roger do, and all podcasters really, to really what can we do to be of service to these folks there at Skinwalker Ranch? And one of the things that Eric Bard shared with us was that how they inherited a particular narrative when they took ownership and stewardship of the ranch from Bob Bigelow's team. And so because of that, they've had to remind people that, hey, all that stuff that happened before Brandon Fugel took possession and this team was assembled, that was basically a whole different era, and that what we want people to focus on is not so much on those stories that are so well known about Skinwalker Ranch, but focus more on the work that they're doing now and how important that is, and how for me anyway, how and why that work matters. It's, how it's on the cutting edge of science, and just really, I love the approach that Eric had to everything. It was very refreshing to have to have that level of candor from both Travis and Eric about various topics. But great question that was asked by Jeff Freeman, and the answer was, just try to help people to understand that it's not so much about, let's not focus on what all those stories and things were that we all heard first about Skinwalker Ranch. All the incredible encounters and stuff that happened when the Shermans and other folks that preceded Brandon Fugel and his team, focus, because the work that's coming out now, they actually have data for. We never got the data. The public, we, the public, the fans, we still don't know the depth and the results or the data that Bob Bigelow's team uncovered on during their time on Skinwalker Ranch. Whereas we do know what is being encountered and what is being logged and what the data is with the current team, and how simply extraordinary that is to be a part of that. There goes that word, extraordinary. Anyhow, folks, I digress. It was just a wonderful, laid back, really just very open, refreshing conversation with Eric Bard and Travis and the rest of the team. And so after that lunch, Jeff Freeman and I were hoping to go get some tacos, and we weren't able to do that because unfortunately the taco truck closed down before we were able to get there. So hopefully tomorrow on Saturday we're going to go get us some tacos. So hopefully some of you will join us for that. But because everybody knows how much I love tacos, right? So from there, we kind of had some breakout sessions, and I went to a phenomenal presentation that I kind of went in between. Eric Bard gave another mind-blowing presentation, Professor Bard, as we insiders like to call him, and Mike Ricksecker again about his expertise on the subject of shadow beings and shadow people and all that. So, and then as we were waiting for the final round of speakers to talk, which I believe was Russ Acord and Zach Hall. Amazing. Oh, and the Expedition Bigfoot team. I think that was today. My mind is such a blank. Forgive me. But anyhow. Just again, the opportunity that I had was something that I referenced it last night in my video last night in my day 2 recap. So something music related. Those of you that know me know that I come from the music industry. I've been a professional audio engineer and music producer for a very long time, and music is my passion. Music is what. It's after my wife and my children, it's my greatest love. I love music. Now, those of you that know me also know that I am a musician myself. I love to perform. I'm a songwriter. The jury is still out on whether or not I can sing, but or play for that matter. But I've always been a keyboard player. But I also, I'm one of those guys that wishes that I could play guitar, because I've got like these, really small hands that are not well suited for a fretboard on almost any guitar. But I do love guitars, and in particular, I'm very fond of Gretsch guitars. And so during my time being a music professional and creative, I've been fortunate enough to cross paths with a lot of my heroes musically. Many people know that I'm good friends with several of the bands that I grew up listening to back in the 1980s, and I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of them in many different capacities. So I'm no stranger to meeting and working with with rock stars, pop stars, you name it. So what I wanted to do, because my new rock stars are people that are kind of blazing the trail in this subject that we still call the paranormal, which really, to me, is just, another term for science we don't understand yet. And so my idea was to try to get, I know that several of the people that I look up to in this crazy field are musicians themselves. And in particular, obviously I have a very soft spot in my heart for the guys at Skinwalker Ranch and everything they do there. And so I know that Travis Taylor is a musician, and I know that Eric Bard is a musician. And I also found out that Jay Stratton is a musician, and Pete Kelsey, another guy. And literally, Pete Kelsey has, he's got a long, very, very wonderful history of being a musician and live performer, guitar player, and he's, Pete's opened for some of my absolute favorite bands back in the day. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to take one of my, my Gretsch guitar, which is a Gretsch Electromatic, and I'll show it to you here in just a second. I love the tone of Gretsch guitars. One of the taglines for Gretsch is that great Gretsch sound, and so I've always, some people are Stratocaster guys, some people like Telecasters, some people like Les Pauls, Gibsons. I love Gretsch guitars. Part of that might be due to, I like Brian Setzer. I like Depeche Mode. I mean, a lot of my favorite artists and guitar players play Gretsch guitars. But at any rate, what I wanted to do was bring one of my Gretsch guitars with me to PhenomeCon and see if I could get who I consider to be my rock stars in their own right, because of the way that they are really kind of grabbing this topic of the unknown, and just jumping in with both feet and trying to move it forward, if you will, not just in a manner of credibility, but just with the respect that they approach the topic with, and the dignity that they conduct themselves with. And so, again, guys, for me, like Jay Stratton, and for Travis Taylor, Eric Bard, Pete Kelsey, and also my dear friend and fellow podcaster, Mr. Jeff Freeman, is also a musician and a guitar player. So I asked these gentlemen, I approached each one of them, and with some help from Michelle Stratton. So tip to the hat to Michelle there, for helping to make this possible. And I actually got my new rock star heroes, Jay Stratton, Pete Kelsey, Eric Bard, and Jeff Freeman, and Mr. Henry there, from of course from Ancient Aliens, who did a great presentation with Travis Taylor the other day. And so I'm going to show you the guitar right now, and forgive me for not having made my bed earlier here in my hotel room, but this is my Gretsch Electromatic guitar, and I don't know how well you guys can see that, but I'm kind of not good at this, so forgive me if it doesn't show up very well. But I was actually able to get them to sign it for me on the back. Sorry about getting you a little motion sick there, perhaps, folks. But as you can see, I got some great signatures on this guitar, and so for them to take the time, and for me to fulfill that simple kind of quirky request meant the world to me. And for me, just shows how truly genuine and sincere, and just what regular humble guys these people are. And I can't begin to tell you, folks, how much that made my day, and how wonderful it was to have Jay and Eric and Pete and Jeff and everybody that signed the guitar today. And I'm hoping to get Travis Taylor tomorrow. So hopefully that'll complete my mission as far as getting my guitar signed, and it's going to from here on just occupy a very special place in my studio at home, and it's going to become a very treasured possession that I have, that's going to hold a lot of personal meaning for me to have these gentlemen do this for me. Just what can I say? My heart is full. So to have that happen was just really made my day. And then the evening was capped off with my absolute favorite event that has become a yearly tradition at PhenomeCon, which is the Voice of the Believers barbecue dinner and open mic. And the food is, this amazing Dutch oven barbecue. It's just indescribably delicious. The company that does this, I think it's the third year that they've had them. I've been there all 3 years. The food is just off the hook delicious. I'm a sucker for barbecue. I love good barbecue, and these guys just completely nailed it. So I love the food. The food was world class. Had also homemade Dutch oven cobblers. I had an apple cinnamon cobbler with vanilla ice cream on top, and I went back for seconds. Sorry. And I got some raspberry cobbler as well. So dinner was amazing. And so then, of course, the highlight is after everybody's done eating, everybody gathers around a fire pit and a bonfire. And it's just an opportunity for people to share their stories, share their experiences. And in the previous years before I came to PhenomeCon, I was never what you would call an experiencer. And as I've mentioned before, there are believers who just, they believe that these things are real. They believe these things are possible. They have faith. Whereas an experiencer is somebody who has literally experienced whatever the phenomena is. And you then go from being a believer to having knowledge because you've experienced it. You've felt something. You've seen something. And it forever alters your perception of the world and the universe around you. When you see things or experience these things, and again, I have to go back to Dr. Travis Taylor, how he always says it breaks your definition, or it breaks your perception of what reality is and what really is and possible. And it's one of those things where those moments where I've described where your eyes are seeing something and your mind is telling you, no, 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 that kind of thing doesn't exist. That's not possible. So you try to rationalize it away and, be like, well, that's not what I saw. There's got to be a perfectly, mundane or prosaic explanation for what I saw or experienced. And so for the first time ever, and I've led on some of it with the podcast that I do with Roger here with the Soul of the Unexplained. Several months ago, I had a very personal encounter with what can only be termed as a shadow being, a shadow person. And it was a very, I hate to use the term traumatic, but that's what it was. It still has me shaken because I'm still trying to figure it out, still trying to make sense of it, still trying to figure out, why did it happen to me? Why did this thing happen? And so I shared my experience for the first time ever in public. And until you've actually done that, it's a very terrifying thing to do because you don't know how people are going to react. You don't know if people are going to just kind of roll their eyes and be like, yeah, okay, Jim. And it's hard because when you've actually truly experienced these things, you just don't know. It changes you. It changes you on a very fundamental level. You become, something about you changes forever when you have an experience like I did. And I imagine it's got to be the same for people that encounter UAPs, UFOs, Bigfoot, whatever their experience is. It very likely changes them forever because I know it did me. And and it was just very good to be among other people who I was able to draw strength and courage from as I was listening to their stories. And it gave me that strength and that courage to share my own experience for the very first time that I've ever done so in public. And let me tell you, that's a pretty terrifying prospect. But I did it, and I got to credit. First of all, I credit Roger because Roger has always been a great example in and not having that fear, because he knows what he's seen, he knows what he's experienced. And I know that if Roger were here with me, he would have, he would have shared his own experiences, and he would have been cheering me along, as it were, to encourage me to, because he knows how much this has been weighing on my heart and my mind for so long. And to have finally shared it with people was like a huge weight being lifted off my heart and my shoulders, as they say. So perfect way to end the night, just listening to some truly wonderful experiences and viewpoints that people had. And that's just why one of them, it's a shining example of why the Voice of the Believers dinner and open mic is my can't miss event of PhenomeCon. And this year was just another one for, file away in the memories of a lifetime. So that's day 3 of PhenomeCon. Sorry to take up so much of your time, folks. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in and checking out what my recaps have been. Thank you for all the wonderful comments that I've gotten from my fellow PhenomeCon attendees. Thank you. Huge thanks to Michelle Stratton, Melissa Winterton, Eric Bard, and Jay Stratton, Pete Kelsey, William Henry, Jeff Freeman, all of you. Thank you so much for really making this day something really special for me. And I mean that most profoundly from the deepest part of my heart. Thank you so much for doing this for me and helping me to make this such a wonderful experience today. I can't find adequate words other than to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And it was great I met some more insiders today. Met Ava. It was nice to meet Ava today. And again, got to hang out with my what have kind of become my crew, John Nyberger, even though he's a Broncos fan, can't hold it against him. But got to hang out with him a little bit again, and also just Christy and just so many great insiders. Miriam, I got to spend some time hanging out and walking around looking for Pete Kelsey today with Miriam, so it was great to kind of hang out with her. But so many people I want to thank, and if I'm forgetting anybody, it's just because it's almost midnight, and again, I'm operating on about 5 hours of sleep, in case you can't tell from my bloodshot eyes. But despite the lack of sleep, truly my heart is full, and that's how I feel. So with that, folks, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for watching this. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel of The Soul of the Unexplained, and hit that notification bell down there somewhere, and you'll get notifications of every time we post new content. Just one more day to go for PhenomeCon, so I will touch base with you folks in the morning, and be watching for Jeff Freeman's JFree 906 podcast, because I think we're going to go live as Jeff and I get some tacos tomorrow, and that's something that I've been waiting to do for a long time. So I will see you tomorrow, folks. Have a great evening, and wherever you are, wherever you're watching this from, hope you guys are all doing well, and just send my very best. And again, a big shout out to Roger. Just let him know that thinking of him, and we're all pulling for him and praying for him, and we love you, Raj. So I will see you tomorrow, folks. Peace out. See ya.